A lot of spiritual modalities and a lot of traditions negate the body.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why people disassociate from it. And also because there's something that I call spiritual bypassing, where you don't want to experience the body, you don't want to experience the negative emotions. So what you'll do is you'll bypass that and go into what I call pseudo-awakened state, where everything's all great and wonderful and expansive and whatever, but you haven't dealt with the BS that's going on in the physical level. So it's a false kind of awaken. It's not true in the sense that there's an incongruence. Okay, so I know that people are having a certain experience, but there's an incongruence or a polarization in their frequencies because they may say something, but internally, it's not congruent.
Right.
So it's causing a polarization in the frequency bundle that is them, which pulls them more out of coherence. So if you are really wanting to have spiritual acceleration, it's important to include the body. And that's why with frequency work, I'm always referencing the body. Because you have to remember, the body exists only in the present moment. This exists only in the present moment. Your mind will take you into future past. So if you anchor into the body, not only does it help you enjoy the embodiment, it anchors you into the present moment of time. It also brings you into the present moment of space. So that's why we reference or at least when I'm doing work, it's always referencing the body.
So are there any tips you have to stay? I mean, it's kind of hard to stay completely present 24
all the time.
hours a day.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you have a morning meditation, which I've done frequently. Now that I have a baby, I don't get to start my day like that. It starts a different way. But you have the morning meditation that brings you into coherence, and you're supposed to do that before you look at your phone, before you get up to pee, right? First thing. And that really works. I remember feeling like, woo! First thing, like boom, when you're just like waking up. Other than that, do you have any other tips?
Yeah. So what I would say is that the morning, I'm just going to address the morning meditation that you asked about first. The reason that is so powerful is because you're bringing yourself into coherence first thing, which means you're not getting pulled out of coherence by someone else. You're handling yourself first.
Yeah.
Right? So you're in a higher state of coherence when you go into your day. So when you look at your phone or someone texts you or calls you or work starts or baby crying or whatever it is, you are already in a higher state of resonance because you are more coherent. So that means that the you that's showing up to deal with whatever is showing up in your day is at a higher resonating order. That's why the morning meditation is so awesome. I am actually going to be creating two other ones. I haven't yet, but I will be creating one, which is like a very fast 10-minute getting back to zero.
Oh, great.
It's just like 5 to 10 minutes. Like, how do you reset back to zero?
Yes, how do you reset?
How do you
That's
reset?
great.
It's like, Mayday, need help.
Yeah.
I need to go to somewhere and just listen to this for 5 minutes, just like bring myself back to the zero.
That's great. That'll be helpful.
So I'm going to be creating that. And then another one for nighttime, just to help people. It's hard, right? We are all really busy, right? Even in the lockdown or wherever it is that you are, people are busy. They're looking at, and not only busy, but we're looking at our screens a lot. So we're looking at our digital devices, all that sort of stuff. And the flicker frequency of a digital device is a very specific frequency. It very much puts you into high beta, like your brain waves, which is a very, very active mind. So and you know this as an acupuncturist, and most people know this intuitively, then when you try to go to sleep, you're like lying there, your brain's like, right? Because it's at a very high flicker, like brainwave frequency. So I'll be creating one to help people like notch down. Because everyone says, it's a good practice where if, before, like an hour before bed, don't look at devices, right?
Yeah,
and you're just like, all right, who's going to do that? I mean, some people have the luxury, but not everyone has the discipline or the time or the whatever wherewithal to do that. So just something to help people notch into.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sleep. So that would be something helpful. And then but something that you have available to you right now to bring yourself into more coherence. Okay. So you can triangulate. So a lot of people who have done GFCs, and so as I've mentioned before, the GFC at the end of this is where the rubber meets the road. That's where the change happens. So this conversation is amazing and helpful, and the work happens in the GFC.
Yeah, this is for our minds.
This is for our minds. It's mind candy. The GFC is when I talk about, or when I lead you through the group frequency calibration, I always ask you guys to triangulate, which is where you reference yourself against inanimate objects to help you triangulate, meaning you know where you are in space. So that is one way to do it.
You could do that in the middle of the day.
Yeah, you can do it in a meeting. You could I could just be talking to you, having coffee, and doing it, and you don't know. Right? I'm still present with you, but I'm aware of where I am in space.
Right.
So there are 3 steps that you can do. So one is to become aware of your body and then triangulate. The second is then become aware of your connection to pure source. And then third, bonus round, you don't even have to do this, is become aware of your spirit body. That in itself will be helpful. Even if you just do step one, triangulate, will bring you into more coherence. Because it brings you, again, it's always about that 0 point of space and time. And why do I keep harping on about this? Because those two coordinates are what the reality is based on. It is how we create as a collective what we think is real. If you don't have the coordinate of space and time, you don't have a reality.
Spirit, right?
Yeah, you're just spirit.
Yeah.
You're like, there's nothing to create the collective illusion. So you need both, okay, in order to, and you need to be in the 0 point of them, in order to have the most influence over your reality and how it shows up. So that's why I keep talking about it, because really, frequency work in part is releasing the distortion pattern and creating more coherence and refining the 0 point of space and time. It's really about the mastery of space and time.